What's good, bro? Today marks the first video of the new year 2019, and we're gonna get started with the juicy one. Today we're talking about the 7 stages of a relationship, and I gotta make something clear with this video. This is not something that we actually wrote out. This is some shit that was a series of statuses that ours truly Unleashed Juice wrote the shit. It was a series of statuses he wrote back when we were like 16, 17 on Facebook, pretty much, I'm pretty sure. And the 7 stages, each status he released one at a time, and we got to a point where we read the shit. We came back to it and we read it and we were like, hey, this is actually still fucking true. Even years later, years later, you read it and it's like, man, this shit is still happening. By the way, this list is actually written from the perspective of a female. So you're reading it in the sense of you're like the bitch's conscious talking to her. So you'll see what I mean in a second. Number 1, ignore. Act unfazed. Act unfazed and show him you are completely uninterested. Ignore all the hard work he is putting in to get your attention. You can't let him know you're interested because girls aren't supposed to do any work. This again ultimately comes down to the fact that women are the receivers and we're the hunters, and just the same way there's a sun and a moon, they have a vagina and we have a dick, so we're trying to pursue their vagina, and this just ends up reverberating on every single level, socially, to little things, sexually, actions, physically. I mean, to the point where if you ask a bitch, where she wants to eat, she's gonna look at you like you have 3 fucking heads. Like she doesn't even want to answer that much. That's how much you see that receiving, that yin yang, that just the same way a battery has a negative and a positive, a magnet has a negative and a positive. It's just you have a left brain and a right brain. With chicks, it always comes down to that shit. So a lot of times early on, they're fucking trying to ignore you. It's even made worse when you have all the cultural media and all this shit telling her, hey, ignore him, act uninterested, and etc, etc, etc. Annoying shit, regular shit. Number 2, confused. Yeah. After you've given a few signs that you're indeed interested, make it frustrating for him with tons of mixed signals. Make sure that by the end of it, he's pulling his hair out. Go hot and cold. He deserves this? Of course he does. This is funny, man. I like the way you wrote this, because just again it comes down to chicks going hot and cold, mixed signals. Chicks are excellent with balancing that duality, just throwing you for a loop, but guys, we're logical. We're just going forward, and we end up just shooting ourselves in the fucking foot. Bitches constantly will play, especially chicks. There's certain kind of chicks, like there's still sarcastic types of chicks where as soon as they see you're sarcastic or you're playful, now that becomes kind of like a shield, when now you have to let them know, hey, bitch, it's okay if you show that you like me. It's not gonna be the end of the world if you show that you like me. Then you got the passive, the shy girls who are sitting there and they just, they're shy. The bitch is shy. She got this big fucking shield up. You're doing like 90% of the fucking talking, and you just gotta kind of get used to it until she opens up. And you got to tell her too to naturally open up. It's okay. Gonna be okay. Naturally, she's gonna think, oh man, maybe I had a guy in the past I opened up to. As soon as I started being interested in him, he probably played the shit out of her. But she's probably got a line of motherfuckers she played while chasing that dude, and that's part of the reason why she chased him in the first fucking place. So ultimately, you just gotta let her know it's okay, because that shit is annoying. Let's just be honest. On to number 3, trust. Super Saiyan trust. Stages of relationship number 3, fall. Fall for him way too fast. Put cutesy statuses, little statuses about him. Force him to take pictures with you. Say I love you as soon as possible. If you wait more than 3 months, you're doing it wrong, stupid. That's perfect. That 3 months is basically around the time where chicks will try to force you to get into a relationship with them. Like if you were the shit and you've been fucking with a chick, they never make it past 3 months, 12 weeks before they're trying to lock you down. 100% guaranteed. If you do not bring up the relationship idea first, they will bring up the relationship idea first. Okay. If he says I love you back, tell him he's lying. If he doesn't say it back, tell him he's an asshole. Remember, he has to be wrong in every situation. I like the way this shit is written. It's just Cause this it feels like this is how bitches talk to them. This is how their evil consciousness just talks to them. Like a lot of the times, you look at them, they give you mixed signals. They're going hot, they're going cold, and then next thing you know, as soon as you do get them to finally stop doing that, they're now trying to suck you in and take every single part of you and just leech every single part of you, the receiving nature, until there's nothing left. And then when there's nothing left, they're posting on the internet about how their relationship is no longer exciting and they don't know why. Meanwhile, bitch, you ain't doing nothing. What are you doing? Bitch, what are you doing? Nothing. That's a big problem. That's, for example, when it comes to attracting women, a big part of it is getting her to validate herself to you, telling her, making her tell shit to you, explain herself to you, tell you about her passions, her dreams, her sexual desires. You know, obviously it's a two-way street, and that's part of the way you get her to open up is by saying your shit first. But you also got to make sure she's saying her shit. Make her chase. How to make chicks chase ultimately. It's just one of the most important things, because everything that women have been programmed with is telling them to fucking give you a hard time and to not. Let me put it like this. For women to get a guy's attraction or attention, they're so used to being pursued that what they do is they'll pull back, and it gets to the point where even in a relationship, this kind of mindset just it permeates and it poisons everything, because it tends to lead chicks to being lazy fucking bitches. Because at the end of the day, like men, we add on to shit. We go like, okay, I want to get her excited, I want to get her attraction, okay, I'm gonna take her to a nice place, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna make sex excited. You're gonna add on to shit, you're gonna give new shit. Whereas bitches, they tend to have the mindset that in order to get him to act right or to make him excited or whatever, I'm gonna take shit away as opposed to add on. Like, instead of giving you benefit, they're just trying to take shit away, which is really just manipulation. And that's just sad, because that ends up being their main tool for getting your attention and getting you. And it's sad. Bitch, put in some motherfucking effort. It's a new year, yo. New Year's resolutions for you goofy bitches. I'm gonna please my man with something more than just cooking and blowjobs and whatever goofy shit TV says. Something a lot more, like, hey, I'm going to greet him every night with lingerie night. Matter of fact, Friday is the normal night. That's how it should really be. That's, man, that's just off the top. I could think of much better shit than that, but I ain't got the time. Stage number, what the fucking stage we at, man? Definitely. Stage number 4. Jealousy. This takes skills, lady. Dig deep and find your powers to manipulate. Accuse him of talking to other girls. Sorry, I was kind of spit there. Even if he isn't, if he presents proof that he is not, ignore it. Turn it around and make it seem as like he is, even to him. Damn, Juice, you gotta get your fucking grammar together, bro. You don't need facts to be right. You have you're a girl. You have the vagina. You have the power. Damn, I really fucked that up. This takes skills like dig deep and find your powers to manipulate. Accuse him of talking to other girls, even if he isn't. If he presents proof that he is not, ignore it, turn it around and make it seem like maybe I just suck at reading right now. Fuck it. It sucks, because what's funny about it is that, say for example, say you give the impression, a chick gets the idea that you are a player type of guy, or you're smooth. The funny thing is, girls, they want that guy that all the other bitches want. But the sad part is they want the yin and they want the good without the bad. They want the guy that all the bitches want, but they don't want none of the bitches coming with him. They just want him to now find her and now change. He has all these skills to meet all these women, and that's part of the reason you like him, and now you just want him to basically cut his dick off, metaphorically. That's what you're basically doing. That's what bitches expect. And it's kind of sad, because it's like you want the guy who fucks all the bitches, but yet it's delusional. You're delusional. It's not gonna happen. It doesn't make any sense. So this leads to a lot of women. What happens is the guys who want them, they don't want them, but then the guys who they do want, they're going after the really, really bad bitches. They're not gonna settle for you. Why would they settle for you? You a basic bitch. You're not doing anything. Or they're gonna go for the really, really hot chicks. So it leads to a lot of chicks. What you notice is a lot of chicks who are older, they hit that wall, but they're still kind of good looking, But if you notice, the personality is so toxic and they're so oblivious to it that the really actual good looking guys that are also high quality, they're not going to settle with those chicks. So a lot of those chicks, they end up being single in their 40s and whatnot. So they end up fighting some dude who's a fucking beta male, but maybe he's decent. He's like cute looking enough. He's good looking enough. Maybe he got like a receding hairline. He's a little bit insecure. Or maybe he's a good looking dude. He's in his later years, but you know, maybe he doesn't have a great job, but he has low self. Then she'll just get some guy like that to fucking wife her up. And I see it. You see it all the fucking time with the type of chicks where they're cute, but they have a horrible personality. They never end up with a dude long term. Early on, they end up bouncing from dude to dude to dude till they eventually settle on some beta male in their later years. When they hit that wall, bitch, they start to notice that less and less men are approaching them. I don't even know what the fuck this had to do with jealousy, man. But bitches, they definitely give you a hard time. And it's just the hypocrisy of chicks. It irritates me. Another thing about that shit, another thing about jealousy is a lot of dudes think that because the chick is jealous, that means that she's like the faithful one. And a lot of times that's not the case. In fact, a lot of times I bet bitches will act jealous just to try to give you the idea that they're so dedicated to you. When in reality, a lot of times the chicks who act jealous, who act insecure, those are the shiesty bitches. Those chicks will literally suck some dude's dick, come home, and act jealous over you, some online Facebook status shit with another bitch or some shit. Anything, like any little thing, they'll act jealous while the whole time they have dick breath. And it's mind-blowing because bitches, they don't have that hypocrisy logical thing in their brain. They just go emotion from emotion. I was just sucking his dick 1 second and now I'm here feeling jealous. It's like I have no nuance to be like, hey, why are you being a hypocritical bitch? I'm just gonna do this shit anyways. And when chicks are starting constant drama, jealousy drama, those toxic type of daddyless bitches especially, look out. Look out, man. I just went in on this step, man. Let's just move on. Let's move on. Stages of relationship number 5. Needy. Get needy. Get demanding. Get mad at him if he doesn't call you daily without you reminding him. Don't let him spend time with anyone else but you, especially not his homies. May want to say shit like, hell, hey, you're hanging out with some other bitch, right? You can't keep your dick in your pants, you fucking man whore. I said dick. Dick in your pants, you fucking man whore. If he isn't sick of you, start again. This is funny. This reminds me of the last hypocrisy, the last step. Because when chicks get needy, what's funny is they will try to take away all your time, which is kind of like your vagina as a man, your fucking time. So she'll try to take it away once she locks you down in that relationship. And now she'll be there trying to take away all your friends, take away all your hobbies, under the guise that, oh my God, I love you, I just want to spend more time with you. And then maybe that's when the drama will stop, or I'll stop acting insecure. It's when we spend more time together. And then when you finally spend all that time together, you now lose all your friends, all your hobbies, all the things that made you get the bitch in the first fucking place. She's now sitting there like, I'm kind of bored. I'm kind of bored right now. Like, what? I don't know what it is. The spark isn't there anymore. Because, bitch, you literally took this dude's soul, everything that made him, you drained him of it. And now you're just sitting there, still looking at him, waiting for him to provide the solution, even though you just drained everything and manipulated him into fucking being this boring shell of his former self. And now you're sitting there looking at him, wanting him to fix the shit. Yet again, it's like, you lazy fat bitch, get up off your ass. And man, when chicks begin to act needy, understand that shit is manipulation. Don't let the long essays they're gonna email you. That's one thing too. If you have a rule in a relationship, one of the rules I have in a relationship is I do not do long fucking texts. I do not do long emails, because nothing good has ever come from a chick writing me some long shit, just side blasting me with some long shit. If you are in a relationship with a girl, you let her know, do not write nothing to me, because what women write, they get into their lawyer mode. That shit is the worst shit ever. Do not write me shit, bitch. You You send me a motherfucking telegram, or not even. I don't want a fucking pigeon with a note on its fucking foot flying through my window, bitch. You call me or you see me. You do not write me anything. Anytime women write a long paragraph, it's almost a guarantee that that shit is gonna be so lawyered up. It's not even funny. I'm telling you. Just see how I've met girls where they write a whole paragraph and then you meet them in person and they'll go back on everything that they just wrote. I'm telling you, man. Do not. I fucking hate long. I hate long letters. I do not like it. Bad experiences. Unless you're telling her to write you something where it's like, tell me all the things that you like about me, and then she writes a whole bunch of shit. You get her to validate her. That's different. But I'm talking about in terms of like, if we have a serious situation, you let her know that you have to talk to me on the phone or in person. Obviously, that would be the better version. Okay, before I have high blood pressure. Stages of relationship number 6. Argue/nag. Oh man, it continues. This part's fun. Bitch at him as much as you can. Argue with him over the most petty and small things. You can't think of anything to argue about? Bring up some shit that happened ages ago. Be as stubborn as possible. Don't forget, he is always wrong and you are always right. If he proves you wrong, cry and tell everyone how much of a dick he is. Get him on his knees. Yeah, man, this is so common that it's just to the point where it's a natural cultural joke about guy. You see it with comedians, you see it on TV, you see it in the media. Hey, yeah, my old lady back home, I gotta get home before she starts bitching at me, before she starts nagging at me. And God, it's sad because at the end of the day, even though I'm up here and I'm saying, I'm like, hey, you fucking bitches, and I'm joking, or I'm telling you shit and I'm being funny at times, the truth of the matter is, all of this shit, it makes a big difference in just how we're raised. Because I seen how my pops would deal with a lot of nagging and a lot of bitching from my Asian mom, and he would make those kinds of jokes, and I would just see how, like, it's funny, but then when you actually look at how just everything about you is affected by your parents in their relationship. Like, if you are raised by a single parent, the bitching, the nagging, like all this shit I'm saying, as much as people might look at this and be like, hey, I don't like this content, or I don't like this, or I don't like that, the content on this channel applies to everything in life. Human relationship, it applies to everyone. Their parental relationship. If you can stop a lot of that shit from happening, that will make a big fucking difference. If you can warn your future son, your future daughter of how to be, how to not end up in the same situations that we came from, the same frustrations that we dealt with as kids, that we don't have to spend and pass on to the next generation. Because that's one thing we don't talk about in terms of dating content. It's all about how to get the bitches, but at the end of the day, it's all about, you know, the relationships with the next generation, our parents, our kids, how our parents fucked up love relationships or breakups or whatever the case caused our dysfunctions, and how we interact with a lot of things around us. And that shit is a 100% fact. It's like, if a daughter is exposed to her mom bitching at her father all fucking day, how is that not gonna have an effect? A lot of times dudes who beat the shit out of their wife, a lot of times the sons will grow up, and that, not to say that's a guarantee, but it's not a big surprise when it happens again. When a lot of times, dude, let's not be politically correct. Serial killers, if you hear their fucking background stories, most of the time, the shit is obvious why they became a serial killer. Not to say that it's always gonna happen, but most of the time, the story is pretty fucked up, their background. So when it comes to arguing and nagging, shit got kind of deep over here, man. Arguing and nagging, man, this stage of relationship, it sucks, dude, because a lot of times it comes from the fact that chicks. So it turns out the battery just died, and I recorded a whole fucking ending to this video that I actually thought was pretty damn epic, but instead it ended up not getting recorded. So now I had to charge the battery, and here I am again, here to wrap this shit up once again. So I'm gonna try to make this shit just as epic as it was the first take. I'm gonna try, alright? Damn. No, actually, matter of fact, what were we on? We was on arguing and nagging. I just wanted to end it on one final note, which is ultimately that when it comes to arguing and nagging, a lot of times it comes to the big decision of living with a girl, because that is a big decision to make if you decide to make it. Me personally, I ain't fucking making it. I'm not living with a female, but I understand that most men, a lot of men, we want to raise families and whatnot, and it just seems logical to live with a woman, and it's kind of hard to go no contact rule when you're in the same fucking house, because women, they're petty as hell, and it's hard to win that petty war, because if you go no contact rule and you're in the other room, she's just gonna go in the other room and be passive aggressive, angry towards you, ignoring you. And the thing about women is they do not give a fuck. They will spend days having this passive aggressive silence, battle of silence with you. And for men, most men, we do not have the patience to just be miserable all day. You bitches have no problem being miserable all day, living your own miserable fucking fairy tale, but it's too fucking much after a while. We're like, man, I'd rather just give in, let her, just give her moment, and then, you know, just go on. But what does that do? That ultimately, of course, it creates a monster. So it leaves you in a catch-22. How do you check a bitch when you live with her? You can't. You really can't. That's what makes it so because at the end of the day, that's what ends up happening is men, we just give in after a while, especially when we don't got other bitches to be like, hey, fuck you, I'm gonna go fuck this other bitch. Now you just start to give in. Now when she bitches slowly and slowly, you just start to give in and give in till next thing you know, thousands of years later, we're making jokes about how it's so fucking normal to get bitched at by your wife, which it isn't. It's awful. And man, another thing to consider about that is if you expose your children to that, how is that going to affect them? How is it going to affect your daughter when she sees her mom bitching at her fucking, you know, bitching at you all fucking day? Now she's probably going to think that shit's okay later on with her future husband. Now you just made it worse for your son-in-law because you over here not checking your fucking bitch. Do you see how everything just starts to fucking compound on top of each other? It's just, man, here's what you do. Tell the bitch, if she's in another room, 2 different bedrooms, I feel like that's still too close. If she's a neighbor, that's still too close. She's in the same building, that's still too close. Bitch, you need to be down the block, like maybe like 2 blocks down, like 2. Nah, that's too close too, man. I feel like a straight line is too close. I feel like you need like 2 blocks down and like 2 blocks to the right, like a couple blocks down, and then like a right turner corner for like 2. Like a right turner corner. Just turn the corner right for like 2 blocks. That way is like enough. It's enough to where I could avoid you if I really want to. Anyways, final last relationship step. Let's get this going. Drum roll, please. The breakup. Get your performance skills on, girl. Start really dramatically. ... We need to talk. ... End quote. Start listing reasons on why he's a fuck up, even if they don't make any fucking sense. Cry so you don't look like the one to blame. After it's over, blame everything on him and tell everyone he broke your heart. Talk about how all guys are assholes and ultimately enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself, girl. This is a whole lot of trauma. That's what I just read. A whole lot of fucking trauma, because I've seen the shit play out time and time again. Hey, I've seen relationships where the chick herself cheated on the guy or broke up with him and still found reasons to blame him and make herself seem like the fucking victim. And the crazy shit is after a while, bitches do it so much that people start believing it. They're like, yeah, you know what? It is your fault she cheated on you because you weren't being the man you needed to be. What the fuck? Okay, so when the guys are way too much, I cheated on you because you weren't paying me enough attention. When the guy's around too much, oh, I cheated on him because things were getting boring and stale and I just needed something new and exciting because we were there all day staring at each other because I told him to strip all his friends away and have no fucking life, and now I'm staring at him still wanting him to excite me while I contribute fucking nothing. And then when it's all over, when all the spark is gone and I break up with him and I contribute to that 70% female divorce initiation rate. So for those of you who don't realize, 70% of divorces are initiated by women, aka most relationships are ended by the female. Most dudes are taking L's and getting dumped. That's just reality. If you actually talk to most pretty girls and you really get down to their relationships, what you find is that most of the time they ended the relationships These bitches are the receivers. They take motherfuckers, they use them up, and then they just toss them to the fucking side. I mean, that's what the stats say, and it's obvious when you just look around. Most times, most relationships, the dude is jumping fucking hoops. And even if he is that player who just finally got tired of fucking all these hoes and decided to settle down, eventually he starts getting nagged and bitched at when he becomes that tamed, domesticated lion, and it's a big fucking headache. One piece of advice, one last final piece of bonus advice that I would give when it comes to relationships is do not initiate any relationship. Every girl, if you were the shit and you were fucking with her, within 12 weeks minimum, maximum actually, within no longer than 3 months, there's no girl where if you're fucking with her for 3 months, they're not gonna make it past 3 months before they try to hit you with that big relationship ultimatum. And that's where you have to make that decision. Like, I don't recommend being monogamous with chicks. I'm not monogamous to any woman, but at the same time, I don't do open relationships. And a lot of people are kind of confused by that. Like, well, what the fuck? Here's the thing. I tried an open relationship because I did not want to be. Obviously, I wanted to fuck a bunch of different bitches. That's the first fucking reason. But two, I also did not want any of my peace of mind to be predicated on a bitch's vagina. I did not want that shit. I wanted to completely disconnect myself. Like, hey, you want to go out and fuck some other guys? You want to live your life? You do that, and I'm gonna be here doing me. That's just it. I wanted to do that shit, but what ends up happening is I got into open relationships. And then what ended up happening is it became the same shit as a regular relationship plus extra manipulation because she would be trying to show off her dates, or inconsequently bitches will just show off certain things and try to make you jealous and pretend like it's just this big power struggle where now it's like, oh no, I'm going out on a date Thursday night, and they're trying to say it like they're just being cool, but really they're just doing it to fucking spite you and all this type of shit. It's just all the bullshit of a regular relationship, plus the bitches fucking other dudes, and you're being exposed to STDs, and it's just a big fucking mess. Like, it got to the point where I was like, man, I don't want to say I'm monogamous because I'm always gonna fuck other bitches, first of all, but at the same time, I don't want a chick to I don't want to just be like, oh, you can only fuck me, because one, there's that logical thing where you first and foremost, that was it too. A lot of times I think dudes, we're logical. We're not like, yo, I'm not gonna tell the bitch. My first reasoning is not to be like, hey, I just want to fuck a bunch of bitches and I don't want her to fuck any dudes. First of all, I thought that was unfair, so I was just like, whatever. She does her, I'm unattached, we're both unattached. When we have time together, we have time together. But what ends up happening is everything I just said, a big fucking headache with the same type of bullshit and an additional risk of STDs. So it got to the point where I was like, you know what? Here's the thing. Chicks, if they start to take you more and more seriously, they start to see you more and more consistently, they will try to hit you that relationship shit. So I hit them with the big speech of that I don't do monogamy, that I fuck other bitches, and I let them know that that's my lifestyle and it's not going to change. And if you don't accept me for me, then you're free to walk away. But at the same time, if you want to be taken seriously by me, then I'm not going to accept you seeing other people. Now, that might seem unfair and unpolitically correct and all this type of shit, but there's a reason for that, because at the end of the day, you don't have to. You can freely walk away. Hey, we could just be fuck buddies and not into a relationship, and whatever the case is. But if you want to get more serious and you want to be more around me long term, whatever the case is, I'm not going to take the risk of exposing myself to more STDs by reckless bitches, because I can control myself in the moment. I'm in control of putting the condom over my dick. I'm not trusting no other bitches with that responsibility. Sorry, that's selfish. I don't give a fuck, because guess what? We're also not fair. Also, it's getting kind of dark. I know. Fuck it. It's not even. What I want to say ultimately is that it's not even. I know it's a sun and the moon, but ultimately it's not even. Even in sex, it's not even. You literally, bitches have a hole. They can lie there and get fucked all fucking day. They don't have to worry about getting it up or pleasing their man. It's even for us, it's easy to please us. Making dudes nut is like, we nut so easily. Even that is easy for bitches. The actual act of sex, they don't even have to worry about getting it up long term as they get older and older, not being able to get their hole. Like, you know what I mean? It's always going to be a hole to fuck. We constantly have to deal with the pressure of giving and initiating the sex and being exciting for the sex for us and for her, and just verbally initiating things, leading things, even down to the point of fighting cheaters and lions. Bitch, how are we even? We're not fucking even. Me fucking bunch of bad bitches? How is that? That's not even close to what you can make up for with all the shit that I do. Motherfucking bitch, you kill some cheaters and lions with a spear, and then we could call even, okay? Until then, I don't want to hear shit, man. I'm fucking these bad bitches, and if you want to fuck these other dudes, that's cool, but we're just going to be fuck buddies. I'm not going to take a girl seriously. You're not going to be in my bed every single week. Hey, man, it is what it is. Hey, man, it is what it is. And at the end of the day, I know what you're going to be thinking. Oh, well, what girl's going to go for that? What's going to happen is most soft motherfuckers, they meet a really bad bitch. They hit that motherfucker with the relationship ultimatum. If you don't bring it up like you were doing, like you were listening, they're going to hit you that relationship ultimatum like, oh, I'm going to go fuck other guys, or I'm going to go move on. If you don't wife me, you don't cuff me. Most motherfuckers, they fall. They just fall. They buy into the monogamous shit. The players buy into the monogamous shit until they just cheat on the bitch with side bitches, and then the beta simps, they stick to the monogamous shit until they get cheated on. That's a lot of times what ends up fucking happening in reality. So I'd rather not deal with that in the first fucking place and let this bitch know from the start. And when you really are that shit and you stick your ground, I'm telling you, most of the time chicks respect it. And it's obvious, because if you look at celebrity dudes, you think chicks are over here like, oh no, I'm not gonna fuck you, Brad Pitt, because you fucking all these bitches. No, that's why she wants to fuck him in the first fucking place. What makes you think she really wants to be monogamous? She really wants you to be monogamous to her. Man, if a girl happens to say what? Lie and be deceptive and fuck someone else and say she wasn't, or whatever the case is, and I get to the point where I look at her and I'm like, man, I can't look at you the same because you lied and you deceived, then hey, if I have to let her go, then fuck it. I have to let her go. It is what it is. If not, then whatever. But at the end of the day, it's your decision to make. But this is a journey that I had to make to myself. I had to make for myself. And ultimately, man, come on. You're going to be monogamous to some chick for 30 fucking years. And in one instant, you could find out she cheated on you with some shit. And in that's 30 years of bitches you could have been fucking. And you just threw it down the fucking drain over some emotional bleeding vagina. Are you kidding me? I can't do it, man. I'm not doing that. Hey, man, it's ultimately up to you. I just had to make this video. Thank you for the statuses, Juice, man. My boy Juice, we've been best friends since we were 7 years old in the third grade, and we wouldn't have came to this point of thinking the things we do. Like, no one goes into this shit thinking of all the crazy shit that we're saying right now. Everyone goes into it, going into it with that Disney kind of thoughts. You want to think all this Disney shit, but then life hits you with the fact that it's like, no, motherfucker, there's another side to things. There's always another side to things, and if you don't acknowledge it, if you just try to ignore it, you don't realize the way to really handle it, it's gonna handle you, bruh. She gonna handle you, and you gonna end up being part of that 70% divorce initiation rate, which you do not want to be. So with that being said, bro, shit, I actually didn't even put the background this whole fucking time. Fuck it. Like, subscribe, comment below. With that being said, bro, unleash your best. And remember, don't get caught slipping around these hoes, my friend.